Dr. Tharoor, many thanks for joining us here on CNBC TV 18. You've issued a fairly detailed statement today, and in this statement you say that prior to undertaking your meetings you had consulted personally and directly with the Chief Minister of Kerala. Did he give you the go-ahead to engage with UN officials, with the WHO officials? Because our conversations with the Kerala Health Secretary just a short while ago, he very categorically stated that they were already in touch with the WHO, both in India as well as in Geneva.
Oh, I have no reason to doubt that they were in touch at the working level, and they should be. That's absolutely right. We are members of the WHO, for example, and the WHO should naturally reach out to us. I have no difficulty in accepting that that's certainly what must have been happening with the Health Secretary. My conversation was with the Chief Minister, and the Chief Minister indicated very clearly what he thought would be useful for me to establish while I was there, and I made it very clear that I was going in a personal capacity at my own expense, not pretending to represent anybody. The idea was to have exploratory and informal discussions with people whom I've known because of my international networks after 29 years at the United Nations myself, and I've basically come back with a very clear set of ideas as to what would be possible for the international system to offer us immediately as well as possibly in the long term. So this is the thing. I've conveyed that to the Chief Minister, who's the only person who can decide whether to request the government of India to approach the international system. But as I also pointed out, there isn't even a need for a formal request from the government of India. These are things that the UN would be happy to offer us. We are members of the UN system. We are members of the United Nations. And the entire principle of multilateral cooperation is one for all and all for one. If we are in need and if we need something that we can't immediately get ourselves from our own resources, there's absolutely nothing embarrassing in taking it from them. So, for example, the WHO has a stock of 2 million anti-cholera vaccines. We don't have anything remotely like that. If there's a need established that we should absolutely take steps to prevent cholera from all the waterborne pollution, we should, from the polluted water that people have been standing neck deep in, then we should certainly go ahead and get those vaccines. There's no embarrassment in that. It's a matter of human lives.
No, I don't think that there is any question of embarrassment, and I do understand that your conversations have been with the Chief Minister. I'm only alluding to the fact that the Health Secretary, just a short while ago in his conversation with me, even on that specific recommendation that you've made on the anti-cholera vaccination, seemed to suggest that as of now there is no need for any further intervention from the WHO. What is required is in operation on the ground. Have you heard back from the Chief Minister? You said that you've updated him on your conversations that took place. Have you heard back from him?
Well, I'm actually not in Kerala, so I've written to him rather than trying to have a discussion with him, which I will do in person when I get back. But I absolutely want the government to take the decisions and the responsibility. I happen to represent a political party that is neither in power in Kerala nor in Delhi. I'm simply using my good offices. I would have felt it immoral as somebody with the network and the contacts and the background I have not to have done whatever I could to see how that could be leveraged to help my people in distress. If the state government in its wisdom feels that no help is required, that's perfectly all right with me. It is their responsibility, and I'm not even implying otherwise. I've been unfairly attacked for pretending to say and do things I've never pretended to say and do. As far as I'm concerned, I went to use my good offices. I've come back with, I hope, a very detailed and professional set of findings and conclusions and recommendations. The Kerala government is the one that decides whether any of these recommendations needs to be followed up.
I want to quickly get your reaction to the letter that's coming from Mr. Oomen Chandy stating that the central government should review its decision to not allow foreign aid, given the fact that the UAE has committed to putting in 700 crores towards Kerala's rescue, relief and rehabilitation operations. Do you believe that there should be a rethink, a review?
Oh, absolutely. I'm 100% with Mr. Oomen Chandy on this, because we need to do a professional needs assessment. But given the fact that we've lost 80,000 kilometers of roads damaged, 39 bridges damaged or destroyed, 50,000 homes that have been washed away or damaged, we're looking at a colossal rebuilding task. When the Gujarat earthquake hit the town of Bhuj, What do we do? We did precisely this. We got international assistance. Chief Minister Narendra Modi called a conference. Donors came. $1.7 billion was pledged, and Bhuj was rebuilt. That's precisely the sort of thing that we might need to do in Kerala. Now, if the Kerala government says this is our estimate, let's say 20,000 crores, and the central government says we'll give you 20,000 crores, fine. But the central government so far has offered a total of 500 crores. And it may well be necessary for Kerala to say that what you are suggesting is simply inadequate for the colossal scale of the damage. That is an issue that has to be thrashed out between the state government and central government. But if indeed the estimates of the needs is much higher than resources available, I see absolutely no shame in accepting help that's being offered. We're not going out with a begging bowl or stretching out our hands looking for aid. People have come spontaneously and offered it, and at the same time, we clearly feel that there is a need. That's essentially the issue. I think Mr. Uman Chandi is quite right in flagging the issue in this way.
What's the agenda, Mr. Tharoor, for Mr. Gandhi's four-day visit to Europe?
Well, he has been systematically going to different regions to project, of course, the message of the Congress Party and to engage with overseas Indians, whom, of course, the Prime Minister has also been meeting on his official travels. So it's part of a series of such things. It began with Berkeley, where I happened to be with him. He did well at Princeton. He's been to Silicon Valley. He's come out to other parts of the region. He's been to Singapore and Malaysia and Southeast Asia. He's in Germany today and tomorrow, and in London the next 2 days after that. And then I expect that he will come to Kerala and see the flood victims as the waters recede, and he's able to walk about and mingle with people. He rightly didn't think he would do much good by doing a helicopter survey, as the Prime Minister has done, because he has no executive responsibility for delivering aid as a result of a helicopter survey. But as a people's representative, he'd like to be with the people, and I think he will be coming very soon next week.
Well, Mr. Tharoor, we leave it at that. Appreciate you joining us here on CNBC TV 18. Shashi Tharoor there on the statement issued earlier today.